Good morning, people of the cardboard, and welcome back to Fun Deck. So we have a huge amount of news. Honestly, way too much news coming out of I think this was the Jump Festival or something like that. They do this live stream so often. They released or leaked a bunch of cards, both for Blazing Domain as well as two other sets that we'll get into. If I was a good YouTuber, I'd put it in a separate video to talk about those cards separately, but I don't have the time for that, nor do I have the patience. So you're welcome. It's all going to be one super long video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe before you jump away because it is just going to be that massively long. So I'll try to blaze through these as fast as I can. Okay, so we have additional Charmer support. This is coming out Blazing Domain. Yep. So this is 4 Charmers in Profusion. Okay, interesting. So this is a Link 4 Light Spellcaster Link Monster, okay? Attack 1850, and then the arrows are left, bomb, left. And it takes any 2+ monsters. Wow, it is completely generic. So I think a cute way is that theoretically, if you make a Charmer, revive your opponent's Charmer, you can just go into this. Or if you could revive your opponent's Link 2, you can make this. This is really cute. Anyway. So you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn, so it gains 300 attack for each attribute among monsters on the field. Okay, sure. So obviously it comes out with 2150, and if there's anything else besides light, it can pump up. So it's not the worst. Once while face up on the field during the main phase, quick effect can target 2 monsters in your graveyard with the same type or attribute, special summon both, but they and this card cannot be used as material for fusion, synchro, XYZ, or link summon until the end of the next turn. Ooh, this is interesting. So I mean, I like that they didn't just make it like different attribute or anything. It's very generic. I think this is definitely a card that can see some Mel play and probably will, because it's basically a double Charmer on a quick effect. And now I'm trying to think. I mean, you could theoretically use material for ritual stuff. So it's kind of weird they didn't exclude that, but maybe they just didn't want to like restrict tributing. But I think this is actually really nifty. It's also a quick effect too, so and it doesn't negate their effects. So sure, they can't be used for material, but anything that can like search or have something interact with the opponent can like be proc by this. This is great. This kind of outclasses. I think there was that Link 4 Fiend that everyone was hyping that could revive something during the end phase. This is better. This is just objectively better. So I mean, huge card. And I think what's nice is this isn't just a Charmer card. This is just, good in everything. I think this could be an extra staple depending on your deck. So I'll give it, a 4 out of 5. I love seeing an archetype specific card that, has application for generically. Then we have Familiars of the Spiritual Arts. So this is, I guess, all the original Familiars. Awesome. But for some reason, they just focused on, I think this is Gigabyte. Yeah, weird. So it's level 4 water reptile, attack 15, defense 200. Cool. That has some synergy. There's a lot of all the other familiar monsters can like search out like 1500 attack and 200 defense monsters when they're destroyed. So this card, this card's always treated as a familiar possess card. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. That's pretty cool. I want to double check the application of that. So if this card is normal special summon, you can add one possess spell trap or grand spiritual art Ichirin from your deck to your hand. I think this is the field spell that gives you like an additional normal summon for an AT50. I think that's right. And possess spell traps, that's interesting. Again, I'll want to double check that. But yeah, this is pretty good. So you can declare one type and one attribute. This card becomes a clear type and attribute until the end of the turn. Light Fiend it is. Wow, okay. And then if this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can special one spellcaster monster with 1500 defense from your deck graveyard. This is pretty cool. I mean, it floats from the deck. I mean, the era of floaters has died, but this is actually pretty cool. I think unlimited, just because you can float into a lot of stuff. Dogmatica stuff is 15, like Ecclesia. But this is really nifty. I like the modulation. It doesn't extend is the one thing. All the other ones do. But I think there's a couple methods of like cheating out a familiar possessed monster from the deck. I think there might be like some cards that do it. So this is cute. I just would wonder the targets here. Unfortunately, given the length of the video, I don't have time to like go and search. So let's keep going. Okay, this is Possessed Resin. So this is a Possessed card, which I believe does matter because they have some methods of searching Possessed. You know what? I just said I wasn't going to search, but here we go. I want to actually... the Possessed... yeah, Grey Nerd Fire. First video I made was about this. Yes, okay, cool. So this was something that I always wondered about because they have like all these awakened versions. When they are sent to the grave, even as like link fodder, you can add their respective spiritual art or a possessed spell trap. But the material for this or the possessed cards have always sucked, so it's never really been relevant. So hopefully this changes that. Anyway, Possessed Presence. This is a normal spell card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Target one face a monster in the field. Specials when Charmer or Familiar possessed monster with the same attribute from your hand, deck, or graveyard in attack position or face down defense position. Then you can change the target monster to the face down defense position. Oh, this is really cute. So theoretically, you could use this as a Book of Moon against your opponent's stuff, or you could do it against any monster you control, and then you don't have to change the position. Okay, cool. And you can manage this card from the graveyard, then target one monster on the field, change its battle position. Oh, okay. This is actually, this is pretty cool. And like decks like Mimigul, although it doesn't, again, I like that it's somewhat generic flip support, but I don't really think this is what any decks really needed. It's not like anyone was doing flip stuff anyway, but hey, you never know. Might help run over something. I think this is really cute. I think the extension effect is nice now because it makes sense. If you play the water, you can like cheat this out. The problem is that there still aren't that many good ones. I know with the previous like support that's coming on the extra or structure deck, you have to play like a bunch of Charmers, and this is basically a way of game material for something and maybe booking your opponent's thing. I just don't see if someone really wants to do it. But I do like this. I do like how this is a good target, and I wonder if they're going to release additional targets. But it kind of is weird because they do call this like all familiars, and they are all pictured. So maybe this is it. I'm also surprised they haven't made like the light and dark charmer like familiars yet. So I think this support's cute. I think the problem is they still are expecting you to play the bad charmers. I was really hoping they would outclass them. So I give this card, it's like a 2. It's an okay card in a really bad archetype. And this card, I'll give it also a 2. I was hoping for something a little better out of like, possessed stuff. This card, really, really good. All right, let's keep blazing through. Haha. So this is Red Hypernova Dragon. It's a Dark Dragon Synchro effect. It's obviously supposed to go with the Red MD, is that? No, the Jack Atlas stuff. So level 12, attack 1450, or sorry, 4,500, in defense 3k. 4 tuners and 1 or more non-tuner synchro monsters. This is incredibly hard to make naturally. I probably assume it'll be cheated out by like Crimson Dragon. Must first be synchro summoned with the above material. Ooh, I think this might mean you can't cheat it out. Okay. So it gains 5 attack for each tuner in your graveyard. Your opponent cannot target this card with effects. Also cannot be destroyed by card effects. Just make it unaffected. If you can make this card, you deserve that. And then once per turn, you can manage this card in as many cards your opponent controls as possible, and in the graveyards. Then you can special summon Red Nova Dragon from your extract. This is treated as a synchro summon. Oh, wow, it's just a board wipe. It just board wipes their field and graveyard, and I think this might be better than the Red Nova Dragon. And it's a quick effect, doesn't lock you in the main phase only. This is a fabulous card. I just don't know how easy it is to make. So I'll give it a tentative 2. If you can make it, it could jump into a 3 or 4 if they can cheat this out super easy. But 4 tuners and a non-tuner synchro, my God. All right, let's keep going. I couldn't even just make it a synchro, because then Killer Tune could make it, but fine. All right, then we got some new junk stuff. Okay, great. I love that they created a really, really bad structure deck in the OCG, and they've just been trying to like catch up and forgive their sins since. So we have, Assault Sonic Warrior. Okay, that's fun. We'll see. I didn't expect this to be assault support. So this is a Wind Warrior effect, level 2, 1,000 attack, 0 defense. You only use the first, second, third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If you control Junk Warrior, Assault Mode activate, or a card that mentions either of them, you can special summon this card from your hand. Cool. If this card is normally special summon, you can add one Synchron Monster or Assault Mode activate from your deck to your hand. I mean, this is cute, but it's not really needed. You already have Assault Mode activate like in the title. Or in the first effect, so this searching it is fine. There's plenty of ways to do it in the deck. This card is sent to a grave of synchro material. You can activate this effect. This turn monster you control will gain 500 attack. Will gain. So applies even afterwards. That's kind of cool. I think, if I understand that right. This is fine. I mean, I think it's probably a better synchro support. and it's searchable off of the junk warrior support. So this is cool. It's not a tuner itself, but I think this is nifty. I'll give it a 2. Again, lots of 2s today, but I just feel that this is like probably at best going to be a combo piece in junk stuff, which just doesn't have a good end board. All right, and so we have Junk Signal. You can activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. Activate one of these effects. You cannot special from the extract for the rest of the turn except Synchro Monsters. Tribute 1 monster, special them when Junk Warrior, Stardust Dragon, or 1 monster that mentions either of them from your hand, deck, or graveyard except the Tribute monster. Okay. And then when your opponent activates a card or effect in response to activation of your Synchro Monster's effect, negate that opponent's effect. That's cute. So I mean, I love that they give this versatility. If you don't need the first effect, you need the second. It's a little surprising that they haven't done the normal new clause where you can use like each effect, but just only 1 effect per copy. You can only use 1 of the effects at all. So I think this is fine as well. It's cool to have more starters, and this is searchable off the Junk Warrior stuff. And it's nice that they're bridging the starter stuff and the junk stuff together. So you can search out any of this. I think there actually are some pretty good starter cards. They're just hard to search. So, I'll give this a 3. I think this is cool. I think this is definitely junk fans are going to want to study this. All right, let's keep on blazing through. All right, so this is, interesting. All right, so I believe, let me go through. Yes, this is the last thing of Blazing Domain, so we'll just wrap this up. So new Predaplant stuff. So Starving Venom, Wing Driving. Okay, it's cool. So they combine Starving Venom stuff and Crystal Wing. Awesome. Lower reasons. So Dark Dragon, Fusion, Pendulum. A pendulum scale 10, and then level 10, 3,300 attack, 2,500 defense. Pendulum effect. So each time monster specials in your opponent's field, place 1 predator counter on each of them. If you do, any of those monsters that are level 2 or higher become level 1, as long as they have a predator counter. Awesome. So it takes a fusion monster, 1 clearing monster. Oh gosh, this is hard to make. So monster effect. Once per turn, if your opponent specials a monster face up, you can target one of them until the end of this turn. This card gains attack equal to that monster's, also negate the monster's effect. Okay, fine. Once per turn, when another card on the field activates its effects, quick effect can destroy 1 card of the field. And then third, if this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can place in your pendulum zone. Cool. Honestly, they deserve an Omni. If you could make this a crystal wing, a clear wing monster is not easy to make. And I don't know if you really want to be wasting it as a fusion material, especially because you already have to fusion someone. Maybe this new stuff will cheat it out. But right now, I'm going to give this a 2. It's a really big boss monster with okay effects that don't do anything during your turn. Right? Like legitimately all this is very reactive. It is cool. This other card activates on the field pop effect, the Ghost Ogre type thing. You can activate something and pop something. That's nifty. Anyway, Predaplant Lizard. Or Lizard, I guess. Dark Plant, effect, attack 12, defense 12, level 3. You can only use the first and third effects of this card's name each once per turn. If you control a Predaplant or Starving Venom monster, you can special this card from your hand. Then you can add 1 polymerization from your deck to hand. Cute little extender, nice. You can target 1 face-up monster in the field. It actually becomes dark until the end of this turn. And if this card is special summon from the graveyard, you can draw 1 card. Fine, best case scenario, you have to special summon extend from hand. I'm not sure if that was really what the deck needed, but it's a cool extender for the deck. So, I'll give it a 3 for the deck, and hopefully that's good. Predaplant Longiphilium. It's a dark plant tuner effect monster. I think this might be the first tuner for Predaplant, but cool. It's level 1, attack 6, defense 1. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Predaplant card from your deck to your hand, except this card. You can match this card from graveyard, activate 1 of these effects. Place 1 predator counter 1 face-up monster field, and if it's level 2 or higher, it becomes level 1. Or set 1 polymerization from a graveyard or banishment. It honestly could go from deck, but fine. This is cute. I think it's great to have the recursion on this, and it's cool because I think putting counters on cards, there's a lot of pretty good Predaplant cards. And it just lets you search. You can search the first card too, or any of the spell traps. I think that was a problem because the Predap are like the spell traps typically, but the monsters are Predaplant. So it was a very weird archetype. I think this is pretty good. I think this one's actually, I'm going to give this a 3, the first one a 2. This is at best an extender, the Surge of Poly. So this is nifty. You can normal summon the previous card, Surge of Poly, and then you're off to the races. So that's pretty, and then this one can reset the poly search. So this gives you instant fusion monster, and you could also use this to make a synchro monster. But this is a 2, and that's a 3. So, here's a 4 you can make. So this is Predaplant Balthea. It's a plant synchro tuner. Level 4, attack 19, defense 1,000. You can use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon Predator Plant or Starving Venom monster from your extra or face up extra deck or graveyard. Oh, face up extra deck. All right. Fine. So actually, you could use this to revive the materials. So you go level 1 tuner, use the effect to search out the level 3, summon the level 3. Level 3 searches a poly, then you can single these off to make your 4, and then this can revive one of them, and then you can go and use that poly you search theoretically. All right. If a monster special from your opponent's to your opponent's field, you can banish this card and 1 polymerization from graveyard. Fusion someone, fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. Oh, that's cute. Quick poly. And oh, it's cool that this is generic. This can be used in anything. If there's any like poly type decks that wants to can mill this to the graveyard, that's a cool target for it. I like that. I think this card's really nifty. And for this, I wonder again. Sorry. Yeah, this card is a great card to make theoretically during your opponent's turn, and so it's nice to have access to that, but it doesn't actually do anything on summon to like interrupt. So I think there are a couple that do though. So this is, I think, a pretty solid card. I'll give this a 3 as well. All right. So we have Predator or Predator Primitive. Fun. Oh, I think because they were Predator cards and we never got that. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. Summon a Predator card from your deck to the graveyard, except this card, add 1 poly spell or 1 fusion spell from your deck to the hand. Also, you can have special monsters for the rest of the turn after this rolls, except plant and dragon monsters. This could just search Dread Eyes Fusion. I mean, I know that wasn't really something that was hard for them to do, but you could just go into Dragoon with this. No problem. This is really cool. This is huge. Wow. Just add any fusion spell. This is theoretically a staple. As long, you just have to find a good Predap card, because this could be any of them. And I would be shocked if there wasn't at least some a somewhat playable card you could throw in. Awesome. So if a monster is special in your opponent's field, you can match this card from graveyard to then target one fusion monster control. Destroy it. Oh, because a lot of the fusions have like floating or destruction stuff. Okay, cool. It's fine. I mean, it's a bonus graveyard effect. I'll give this one a 4. I know this seems weird, but adding a fusion spell, sure, you're locked into polys, or you're locked into plant and dragon monsters, but this can search Branded Fusion, right? So I'm sure it's good. Like any other fusion spell that comes in the game, this kind of breaks that. Is a very good lock, I'd say, mostly because you just can't special summon for the rest of the turn. But they include dragon monsters, which is like any dragon fusion deck can use this. So this is pretty cool. All right, and let's wrap up the Blazing Dominion cards with Apex Polymerization. So this is not actually... Oh, add 1 polymerization spell or fusion spell. Okay, so this can search this too. This can also search Super Poly. That's just good. Wow. All right. So we have Apex Polymerization. You can only activate 1 card with its name per turn. Neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card activation. All right, everyone loves that. Pay 2K, then target 1 effect monster in the field, special summon monster from your extra deck with the same type and attribute, but a different level. Its effects are negated, then apply one of these effects. Fusion summon 1 fusion monster from extra deck using both monsters, or send this summon monster to the graveyard. Interesting. I'm really confused about this. So it has to be the same type and attribute. Cool. That's not hard. Especially because Dark Dragon is a lot of these. So you can just cheat one out and then you kind of super poly with your opponent's stuff, or you can use this to just bin something from your deck. So I think Branded could obviously make good use of this. They have a lot of different dragons in the extra deck, and so all you need is like a Dark Dragon, and then you can send like several. So this is cute. I'm just kind of weirded out, but like I thought this would send the other monster. Sure. The effects are negated, so you're obviously not proccing anything from this, but anything that procs in graveyard from being sent, especially if Susan Hero would still go. I think this card's cool too. I think this card, and this is generic theoretically, so it depends on the deck, obviously. You would have to see what deck could actually reliably send. I guess you could target your own stuff too, just to get something into the graveyard. So I think it's worth considering looking into what this could actually be used for. So I'll give this one a 3. I think it's far more limited in its application, but still very, very promising. So that's it for the Blazing Dominion. And if I were really good, I would break into a new video, but I'm not. So we're going to go into a new set. So they have They call this, okay, limit, is it limit over collection? So the heroes and villains, these are two separate sets. I thought they were coming out at the same time because they were announcing at the same time, but no, these are coming out, I believe, end of February, and then the rival sets are coming out of end of March. So as you can see, we now have like they call it limit breaking, I forget, but basically we have full art cards. That's very, very rare. And I thought when I saw this, oh, they're just reprinting all the old ones. No, they've made retrains of every single new hero or old hero card and rival card, which is just crazy to me that they're doing it, and I love it. So let's get into it. We have a lot of these, and we're just going to play through it. So I'm going to get through these cards first. These are some anime cards that I don't think are going to be really good. Underworld Circle, continuous spell card. You can only activate one card with this card's name per duel. Ooh, activate this card if there are 5 or more monsters in each graveyard. Destroy as many monsters on the field as possible. Then each player banishes all monsters from their decks face down. Then you special one normal monster from your graveyard. That is crazy. All right, so basically just wiping out every monster from the deck. Cool. And it does deserve to be once per duel, but it can't be used turn 1, obviously, unless you mill. Unless there's mill. I think they forgot that mill is a thing. Okay. Once per turn, during your standby phase, each player can special summon one monster from their graveyard, ignoring summon conditions, but banish it when it leaves the field. So this is a fabulous card just to play, remove it from the deck, and then pop this if possible. That's wild. Wild. Okay, this is probably going to get limited. So I'll give this, a full 5 out of 5. This is like a game warpingly strong card. And if a deck plays any mill, you can just ruin someone's deck. Okay, fun. So this is Master Spirit Tech Force Pendulum Ruler. Awesome. I have no idea what this card's from. It looks like Orca stuff, almost. All right. So this is level 12 Light Machine Fusion Pendulum Effect Monster, attack 35, defense 3k. So you can cheat this out with Cyber Dragon Nova if it gets popped. Pendulum Scale 1. Pendulum Effect. You can only use the first Pendulum Effect this card's name per turn. During your main phase, you can return this card to the extract. Then you can add one level 7 Pendulum monster from your deck or face-up extract to your hand. Don't know the applications of this. That's super weird. The materials, so the monster effect, it takes one level 7 or higher Pendulum monster and one Pendulum monster. Okay, so just 2 pendulums, but one has to be level 7 or higher. You can only use the third effect of this card's name up to twice per turn. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. Awesome. Your opponent cannot attack except pendulum monsters without a level. Sorry. What? Your opponent cannot attack except pendulum monsters without a level. I don't get that. I don't understand what that means because there's no link pendulum monsters. Oh, exceed pendulums? That's weird. Okay, sure. So they just can't attack. You contribute one monster, then target one card your opponent controls, destroy it, and if you do, inflict 16 damage or 100 damage to them. So it's just pop and burn. And then once per turn, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. Or you can just choose to do that. This is super weird. I have no idea what the point of this is. I think theoretically you fusion this up, then you can tribute one monster, pop a card your opponent controls, and then place this to return and add one from your deck. This is the wildest card. I have no idea what this is for. Right now, I'm going to give it a 2 because Konami's mostly forgotten about pendulums. All right, let's keep going. Gatling Ogre, level 3 Fire Fiend, attack 8, defense 8. You can send any number of set cards from your spell and trap cards to this graveyard. Inflict 800 damage to your opponent for each. Also, your opponent takes some damage for a non-fiend of monster's effects for its return. Once per turn, when this card is targeted for attack, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each other attack with monsters, then end the battle phase. This is a cool burn card. I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5. Infernity Death Gunman. All right. Infernity Doom Slinger. Maybe we'll get that name. Level 1 Dark Fiend monster, attack 1, defense 1. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. During your main phase, you can special one Fiend monster from your hand. If you have no cards in your hand, quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Your opponent chooses one of these effects for you to play. Oh, why would they do this? All right. Reveal the top card of your deck, and if it is a monster, your opponent takes any effect damage you would have taken this turn set. Otherwise, you take 4k. What? Oh, if you don't inflict damage, I guess you take 4k. Sure. And you take no effect damage this turn. Okay, this is 0.5. Cool, 0.5. Infernity still sucks, and now it sucks more. All right, we got to blaze through this because this is taking way too long. All right. So, all right. So this is the new Dark Magician card. Dark Magician, the Pharaoh's Servant. Dark Spellcaster, level 7, attack 25, defense 21. You can only use the one of the first, second, and third effects of this card's name per turn, and only once a turn. Okay, super hard once per turn. This card becomes Dark Magician while in the field and graveyard. Awesome. You can reroll one spell in your hand, special summon this card from your hand. Then you can set one spell trap that mentions Dark Magician from your deck. This is huge. Obviously, you can search the Circle. You can search the Eternal Soul. This is broken. This is just really, really good. Or a quick play to use during opponent's turn. So it's extender and it helps you out. Okay, awesome. And then quick effect, you can discard one spell, destroy all spell trap removals. This card is bonkers good. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I know that's weird, but Dark Magician could use this type of extending a card. It's a board wipe too, and if you cheat out, you can do it during your opponent's turn, but typically it's just going to be, I think this is fabulous in Genesis too, which I'm always looking forward to. So yeah, 4 out of 5. This is favorite hero, Shining Flare Wingman. I think the favorite hero does matter. Remind me in the comments. I don't have the time to look into this. This is a light warrior fusion monster. Attack. It's level 8, 25 attack, 21 defense. Fusion monster. It takes a fusion monster and one face-up monster in the field. So kind of a super polyethnic card. I don't know how easy this is to make. This card is always treated as an elemental hero card. Okay, you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is special summon from the extract, you can shuffle 5 monsters from your graveyard into the deck, then draw 2 cards. And if you do, this gains 1,000 attack. Fine, cool, pot of avarice. If this card destroys a monster by battle, inflict damage to opponent equal to that monster's original attack. Okay, this is a dud. I mean, it's cute, but I just don't see why you would make this. I'll give it a 1 out of 5, sadly, because these effects are just old. Stardust Dragon Victim Sanctuary. Awesome name. Badass name. Wind Dragon Synchro Effect. Level 8, 2,500 attack, 2,000 defense. It's generic 1 tour and 1 more non-tours. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Also, you cannot activate them in the same chain. Okay. When your opponent activates a card effect in response to activation of your card of effect, quick effect can contribute this card, negate the opponent's effect. If you do, destroy that card. Oh, cool. So it's it's a hand trap protection card. Awesome. If your monster was tributed this turn, quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon Star Synchro monster from your deck. Ooh, interesting. You can't use both. All right, so this is a one-off card, but it would proc its. So this is a quick effect. Okay, so this effect would proc this. Okay, this is actually really cool. So you could basically go summon this, use this effect, tribute it off, and then later in the turn you can banish. You just can't do it in the same chain, which makes sense. I support that. So this card's really, really good too. I'm going to give it a 3. It really just matters. There's a lot of good Stardust ones. I wonder which ones you can cheat. I think there's some really broken ones, but a lot of them have you needs to be seeing Grow Summon type things. But this is just to protect the hand traps. Awesome card, really generic option. I think you can see play. So I'll give it a 3. This is number 39, Utopia, the Envoy of Light. It's a light warrior XYZ effect. Rank 4, attack 25, defense 2k, takes 2 level 4 monsters, cannot be destroyed by battle except with a number monster. Quick effect, you can detach one material from this card, then target one monster you control the first time it would be destroyed by battle or card effect. Turn, it's not destroyed. Fine. When the second attack of this turn is declared, you can make this card gain 2,500 attack, and if you do, it gains this effect. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can special summon it to your field. So it becomes a Goyo Guardian. That's nifty. I'm going to give it a 2. The second attack is so weird, so random, it's so niche. It's fine. It might see some play, but I think Goyo Guardian isn't that broken anymore. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon of the 4 Heavenly Dragons, of course. It's a dark dragon pendulum. Scale 4, level 7, attack 25, defense 2k. Pendulum effect, you can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. During the main phase, you can destroy this card, and if you do, add 1 pendulum monster with 1,500 attack or less from deck to your hand. Also, for the rest of the turn, unless you pendulum summon after this card effect resolves, you cannot activate monster effects on the field. Huge restriction, but get you any scale. It's pretty powerful, and this is basically a faster version of the OG Odd Eyes. Awesome. And then the monster effect, you only use the second monster effect of this card's name once per turn. This pendulum summon card gains these effects. Gains attack equal to the difference between the pendulum scales of the 2 cards in your pendulum zone times 300. Cute. And any battle damage your opponent takes from battle involving this card is doubled. That's an homage to the original. And then if this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add to your hand Then if it was destroyed by your opponent, you can special summon it. Oh, nifty. Doesn't do anything on the field. It's an extender. I think, again, I'll give it a 2. Pendulum's kind of dead, but this can theoretically add any pendulum monster. I just question the actual applications. All right, and last one of the heroes, and then I think we only have a couple of the rivals. This is Decoy Talker integration. So it is a Decoy Talker. It's a Dark Cybers Link. It's Link 3, 2300 attack, and then same arrows as Decoy Talker. So up bomb, left bomb, right? And 2+ effect monsters. You can only use the second effect of this card's theme once per turn. This card in the extra monster gains a 500 attack for every other Link monster on the field. And in the graveyards, also your opponent cannot target it with card effects. Ooh, cool. So it just is a big monster that can't be targeted. Quick effect, you contribute 1 monster to this card points to send 1 Cybers monster from your extra graveyard. Also, this card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase. That's huge, because I think Mirrorlogic Aggregator, the rank 8 monster, is a Cybers. So this is good. Good end board piece, good everything. I'm going to give it a solid, let's go 3 out of 4. I think it's good. I think it's not the best, but sure. Oh my gosh, there's too many of these. All right, let's get through the rivals. Blue Eyes White Dragon, the White Phantom Beast. It's a light dragon, level 8, attack 3000, defense 25. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. When this card is added from your deck to your hand or your monster is destroyed by battle, you can reveal it in your hand. Special summon it. Poplar Dragon. Great. If this card is special summoned from the hand or deck, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Also, you can only attack with Blue Eyes monsters this turn. This is really cute. This is a Fabulous Going Second tool, and if you can search it through in your opponent's turn, you can just board wipe. That's nifty. And then one card effect to activate that targets this card in the field. Quick effect, you can discard 1 card to get that effect. I'm going to give this, a 3. I think Blue Eyes is kind of, we'll see. I mean, maybe this could break the deck and everything, but I think it's just fine. Oh, this card, this does not look good. This is my least favorite one so far. It literally looks like they just copy and pasted those, like the images. Like someone used Photoshop to trim them and just pasted them. Not great. That's my opinion. So this is Crimson Dragon Quetzalcoatl. Sure. It's a Dark Dragon Synchro, level 12, 0/0, generic, 1/2 or 1 more non-tuner. You can use this card's first and third effects once per turn each. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can special summon as many Dragon Synchro monsters from your graveyard as possible. Also, you cannot special summon for this turn. Oof. Gains attack equal to the total original attack of all Synchro monsters you control. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can return one other Dragon Synchro monster. You control the extra deck. If you do negate the activation, this card is a worse version of Shining Dragon. It's just true. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5. It's an Omni negate theoretically, but they just removed those other dragons. They don't do anything. So, all right, Cyber End Dragon, the Decisive Strike Dragon. It's a light machine, fusion, level 10, attack 4K. So doesn't work with RBs, therefore it's a 0 out of 5. Attack 20 or defense 20. 3 machine monsters with 2100 or more attack must be fusion summoned. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. So this isn't actually a Cyber Dragon by name. Okay, it is fusion summoned using only light monsters. You can pay 4K. Add 1 limit removal from your deck to your hand. That's cute. That's cute. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing, melee damage, could have been double piercing. This card, whose attack is higher than its original attack, can make a second and third attack during each battle phase. This is really nifty. It's going to get a 1. It's fine. It's an attack card that you can pay after your life to add limit removal. It's bad. It's just bad. Neo Galaxy Eyes, Photon Dragon, Photon Howling. Okay, so it counts as 2 Photon monsters. All right, so it's a light dragon, XYZ, rank 8, attack 45, defense 30. Takes 3 level 8 monsters. Once per turn, you can also XYZ summon this card by using 1 rank 8 monster you control. Transfer material to this card. Okay, this card is XYZ summoned. You can take 1 photon monster from your deck, either special summon in defense position or attach it to this card's material. Cute. Really good photon card. Quick effect, you can attach 3 materials from this card, tribute 1 other XYZ monster, and if you do, negate the effects of all other face-up cards currently on the field until the end of this turn. Does it for both players' turn? This one's going to get a 2. It's cool. It's Photon Extender, sure, and maybe that's what the deck needed, but this effect, it's so restrictive. You have to treat another monster, and then it negates all your stuff too. So that's just not great if you're trying to use this as an interruption. And you have to attach 3 materials. This is like a bridge to Zeus if you want to do that. And with the other new card, you can stack on top of this, and then go into Zeus as long as you don't use this effect. Yeah, it's fine. All right. Oh, this card actually. Okay, so I will say, hindsight, this means that the this can also stack on that new card that we just got, the other rank 8. So you can go anything, any rank or any exceed into the other new card, stack this on top, and then you can get a search for photon stuff. Still cute, still useless, but fine. So Starving Venom Fusion Dragon of the 4 Heavenly Dragons shirt. Dark Dragon Fusion, attack 28, defense 20, level 8. Dark takes 2 dark monsters on the field. Super poly target. This card is always treated as a Predator Plant card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If the card is special summon, you can target one other face of monster field, changes attack to 0, negates effects. Also, its attribute becomes dark. Oh, that's cool. So this actually works with the other cards that say basically that you fusion summon during your opponent's turn. And then when your opponent activates a card of effect, quick effect, you can fusion someone when dark fusion monster from your deck using dark monster field, including this card. So I believe with this run, you could theoretically use your opponent's stuff too. I'm not entirely sure, but this is bonkers good. This is really, really good if you can use your opponent's stuff, because you can just summon this, negate something your opponent controls. It's good going first. It's good if you can make it to your opponent's turn. I'll give this one a 3. I like this one. I don't know. I'm biased. And last card. Oh my gosh, this has been the longest video I've made for new cards. This is Borreload Liberator Dragon. It's a dark dragon link effect monster. Its arrows are right, bottom, left. It takes 3 plus effect monsters. Attack 3k. Link 4. You can only special summon Borreload Liberator Dragon. Okay, once per turn. Once per turn during the battle phase, quick effect and target. You can place one monster your opponent controls in a zone this card points to and take control of it. What? Okay. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card activation. That's cool. So I just was weird out with the word. But it basically just lets you take. It's non-targeting. It just places it. That's awesome. Once per chain, if this card is in your graveyard, quick if you can target one monster you control, destroy it. And if you do special summon this card, ooh, this is good. This just revives. It is obviously you can't do it during the turn summon because you can only summon it once per turn. But this is a really good card. Just for taking stuff. I just do question. I mean, Borreload Dragon does exist. So why? This is cool because they can't respond to it. It's still in the battle phase though, which was like they can still pop in the main phase if they can. So I'll give this. I have to give this a 2. It's an improvement over the other one because obviously you can still attack with this card and still run over the other one. Like you basically lose an attack to take something. This just lets you take it. But I think it's only fine. So yeah, I'm giving this a 2. It might see some play. Yeah, I do question this one. The cool part about it is it can revive itself, but I just question how useful it is. Anyway, wow. This was a long video, and I really need to run. But I think these cards are very interesting. Personally, none of them support RB, so they all suck. I'm changing all their scores to 0. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to like and subscribe while you're at it. And yeah. We're expecting to get some more Blazing Dominion reveals, maybe some more of this reveals. We might get some more anime stuff, I'm not sure. But regardless, that's all I got for you today. It's Fundex, signing out. Bye.